Nasir from LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. As we have started with the new chapter, now the topic that we will discuss in this session is carrier generation, recombination and the carrier transport. So ultimately we will be concentrating on the carrier. Now what is the carrier? Carrier in our context, it can be holes or it can be electrons. Okay. So now the carrier generation and the recombination, that is the first topic. So basically what is the carrier generation? So it can be defined as a process where electron hole pairs are created by exciting an electron from valence band to the conduction band, thereby creates a hole in the valence band. So it is a process where electron hole pairs are created. How? As you provide the energy, definitely electron will go from your electron, okay, that from electron it will go to the higher energy state, that is to your conduction, and here the deficiency of electron, that is nothing but your hole. Now what is the carrier recombination? It's a reverse process where electrons and holes from conduction band and valence band respectively recombine, or you can also say that this electron hole pairs are actually annihilated, or it can be said as destroyed. So what is the generation? Electron goes from your bottom, that is the valence, to conduction. Your hole is created, and the reverse process is your recombination process. Now, the process that leads to the carrier generation and recombination, that can be identified in the basically photon transition. Okay, so photon, basically what do you mean by photon? Photon is nothing but the packets of light, or you can say that the light is also somewhere said as a photon. Now the direct recombination or band to band transition. Okay, so what happens in the carrier generation when electron holes are there, okay, and energy is provided, what will happen? The electron from the valence band goes to the conduction band and leaving behind a hole. Okay, so this we know that is a carrier generation. Finally, here is in the context of the photon. Now what will happen in the carrier recombination? So we know that the reverse thing happens, so it went from the bottom to top. In reverse, what will be happening? It will be coming from the top to bottom. But from top to bottom, when it comes, it would be releasing that energy, and that energy released in the form of the photon or in the form of the light. That's why it is known as direct recombination, because the interaction is directly between valence and the conduction band. Okay, or you can also say that the band to band transition. Why? Because there is a direct transition between the conduction and the valence band. In middle there is nowhere where electron is residing or it is getting trapped. Okay, so now the next part, that is the next thing, is we are getting the similar word, that is a phonon. Now here phonon basically means your vibration. We know that wherever the vibration is there, there will be heat. So this is known as the phonon transition. It is indirect recombination or trap assisted transition. Now how it is happening? Now basically what happens when impure semiconductors are there, so there will be the deficiency in that. Okay, so some deficiencies such as the atoms, some atoms are missing, some atoms electrons are not as it is at was, because when we go with the practical versions, what happens, it is not practically possible that everything happens firmly or uniformly throughout the structure. There will be some problems there, and these get you rise of the trap region. Now how this trap region behaves in carrier generation, usually what happened, it went from conduction valence band to conduction band. But here what would be happening? Here whenever the energy is given, the electron will go from valence band to try to go to the conduction band, but in the trap level will acquire it, and now you require more energy from releasing to trap level to the conduction band. So here you can see that there is an indirect transition is there. Why? From valence to trap, and then trap to the conduction band, right? So this is the carrier generation. Now we know that it is exactly reverse happens in the carrier recombination. So now what happens, whenever the electron that comes from the top conduction band to trap level, it will release some energy. Again in trap level it has got certain amount of energy, it will release it after that and then come down, and the carrier recombination process is over. But what is happening down there? Here there is an indirect transition rather than band to band transition. So whatever that energy is released, that is in the term of phonon or vibration, or the energy is released in the form of heat. Okay, so this is where the phonon as well as the photon transition. So from the name suggested, it was the case that in photon what you will be getting, you will be getting the heat, and in the photon you are getting the light. Now we are trying with the carrier transport. Now carrier again. What is carrier? Hole and electron. And transport, how they are traveling, that would be carrier transport. So in carrier transport, we basically say that the process by which a charged particle, that particle can be in the electron or it can be holes, as semiconductor is bipolar in nature. Okay. So move in a semiconductor. So the process by which a charged particles moves in the semiconductor, that is your carrier transport. Now that can be also divided into basically two parts. Okay, so the carrier transport, first we will go with the carrier drift. Okay, so what is carrier drift? We know something about drift. Let us discuss it again. The flow of the charge carrier that is due to the applied voltage of the electric field is called as a drift current. So now the basic difference is, in drift electric field is provided or applied voltage is provided to it. So now what happens in an ideal structure where the field is not applied, everything is randomized. Okay, so when it is randomized, what happens when you provide the electric field? Now you can see that when the electric field is provided in certain direction, your hole will go in that same direction. Why? Because according to electric field provided, it is a plus and minus, and hole would be attracted towards this minus sign. So you can see that in the diagram that the hole travel in the direction of the electric field. But in context, when you go with electron, it always go in the opposite direction. Why? Because the current is from positive to negative. So hole will be getting from positive to negative, definitely. Because hole is in positive nature and the terminal minus will be attracted. But in electric field, what happens? The positive is on the other side. So the electron would be definitely attracted to the positive end. That's why electron is in the opposite direction of the electric field applied. Okay, so this was your carrier drift. Now from this we have got few takeaway points, that is the average velocity of electron and holes achieved due to the applied electric field in the drift velocity can be termed as drift velocity due to holes can be given as V of h equals to mu h e. E is the electric field, mu is the mobility of the hole. Similarly, drift velocity due to electron is given as V mu e. Mu e is nothing but the mobility of electrons. From this we know that whenever the mu comes, we get the current density. So the drift current density due to the hole is given by Jh, that is equal to N of h mu h e. Similarly, drift current density due to the electron is given as J of E equals to Ne mu e. Okay, so now we can take the combined. Why we are taking the combined formulation? Because we know that number of the holes created would be equivalent to the number of the electron that are coinciding. Okay, so from that we are combining the formulae with J drift equals to Ne E into bracket mu e plus mu of h. Okay, so this was all about your drift. Now we are going to the second part of the carrier transport, that is nothing but your carrier diffusion. Now in this diffusion, or you can also say that the basic difference between the diffusion and the drift is, in this we don't have any electric field. Okay, so the current produced due to the motion of the charge carrier from a region of the higher concentration to the lower concentration is called as a diffusion current. So diffusion without any applied voltage or any applied electric field. Drift is the effect of the applied voltage and applied electric field. Okay, so now what happens basically in diffusion? We can see that in the figure, a non-uniform concentration of electron is there on the one side, okay, and on the other side it is a uniform concentration. Now how it is happening? So what happens when an electron, I'm just taking about of the n-type material, one-sided electrons are there, okay, they are highly concentrated, and the other side is not there. So definitely it will go from this higher end to the lower end. Why? Two factors are there. First, there is a repulsion. Now there will be repulsion between these electrons and they will try to move away from each other. So slowly and gradually they move away. So they move from the higher density to the lower density area. Why? Because that space is still there. So after a certain point of time they would be equidistant with each other because of this repulsion, and they are actually distributed now, and this concentration is a distributed one. So this is the basically carrier diffusion. Okay, why? It has a diffuse from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. So now diffusion current density is proportional to the concentration gradient. Now what is this concentration gradient? It says that one side it is, for example, a larger density is there, and on the other side you have got a comparatively lower density. So this change in length, so from length this end to this end, so whatever the change is there in the concentration, that is your concentration gradient. Okay. So now again the takeaway points are there. Concentration gradient for holes is given as G of H proportional to D of N of H upon D of X. Now see, we are taking the gradient, that's why distance is very much important. Okay. Similarly, concentration gradient for electron is given by G of E is proportional to D of Ne upon Dx. Okay. So your diffusion current density due to holes is given as Jh equals to minus E dNH upon dx, where minus E is actually resembling what? It is just opposite of electron, that's why we are writing minus E. Okay. Now diffusion current due to the electrons would be J of dNe by dx. Okay, here E is as it is. Again, combine this formula, we'll be getting ultimate J diffusion equals to E into bracket dE dNe upon dx minus of D of H dNH upon dx. So these are the basic how the carrier will transport either with the drift. What happens? So if you want to just get the chronology, so first would be obviously the diffusion process. Okay. Then when you are applying this electric field, the drift effect would be there. So that's it for this lecture. Hope you guys have understood this session. See you in the next session.